What did you think of the initial Jeremy Ebobisse trade?
So it wasn't actually. It wasn't even the trade that like the player we were requiring that I was most like excited about. Is because when it was a couple weeks ago when we announced we're firing the GM and we're hiring a new one, I was actually kind of mad at the Quakes because I was happy because it was we all agreed something needed to be changed because I think we had 1 point out of a possible 18 at that point when the firing was made. And I'm like, what's the point of like doing a whole GM thing? Like in the middle of a season, like what's that really going to do? But immediately he's already made 2 big changes. But as far as the trade itself, I'm excited. It's a young, promising talent. Now, I'm a big fan of Benji, and I think Haji deserves some more minutes, but this creates rotation, and I nearly cry because I think it's the end of Carlos Fierro, hopefully. That is the best part of it all.
I don't know if you're going to like our show once I get my Juneteenth jersey up here. You know, it's my Carlos Fierro Juneteenth jersey.
I'll just listen. Man. I can only listen. I can't watch anymore then. I have it right here, but we are an anti-Fierro podcast.
Dude, he's crazy famous.
I saw that he can actually take some free kicks because, especially with our subs, I've been laughing with Jacob. Like, I have played Sunday League and I played soccer my whole life, and never once have I ever seen a team that doesn't have a player that can take a free kick. Like, we'll get a free kick on top of the box and everyone's just looking at each other like,
right. Who's gonna take it? Yeah, no, it's something else. I mean, Wando was taking a free kick. That's something I thought I would never seen his last year. It's basically Wando's last year's bingo, right? Like take a PK, get a red card, right? Miss a howler, score 2 goals to win, right? It's like, I got 5 in a row, you know. It's definitely, he's great with his feet. He's just really good in the air. He's just like elite in the air. So that is probably his best.
Well, I like that we're getting money because we are in desperate need of it. But as far as the heading point, I think that is a pro, but I think it's a really big con too with our team because in the last 2 games we've been playing kind of with sort of like a false 9 position with either starting up there, and because we haven't had like our full squad, and one big concern or problem I think Jacob and I both agree on is a lot of time our attack isn't creative. It's just like go down the wing, cross, and hope Wando gets on the end of it. Then when we went to this false 9 thing, actually I think it started when Benji first started, but he got injured after 45 minutes. It's all a really dynamic and creative front line. And you see that with Cal and Espinoza, and then you have a striker who's actually checking to the ball and moving around. And I think this new guy, he can add and help to it, but if we see that he's good at heading, I don't want us to go back to send it down the line and cross it in and hope he can win a 1v2, 1v3. So it'll be interesting to see how we adapt to it, and I hope we rely on this style of actually playing and having a creative final third versus just going back to the Hail Mary.
So let's go ahead and go into the second piece of news. Florian Ljungberg gets traded away for 200K GAM and 100K in incentives in the next year. So let's start with Jacob. I know Jacob loves Florian
Jacob,
Ljungberg.
you can take this whole segment. Go ahead.
Youngworth. Florian Youngworth. Listen to me when I say this. You are trash.
No, it was really depressing. No, I'm kidding. The last couple gave away penalties against Orlando, where he just dived in, and he really scared me.
That was the worst penalty I've ever seen. My man was playing kickball, he sprinted full speed, the ball wasn't there, and he just swung for the fences.
Portland game. But what did you guys think of the game overall? And do you feel like getting 1 point was valid? We'll start with Jacob.
Actually, before we do that, I want to start I know Portland had some injuries at the beginning of the year, but I guess someone failed to tell me and Jacob that Portland's front line was also the USA's B team for the 4x100 at the Olympics.
Yeah, they were all so fast.
Oh my God.
Well, Asprilla.
With the uncanny ability to run really quick.
Want to see me run to that mountain and back? You want to see me do it again?
It's frustrating. If you take this game and you put it in an echo chamber, I think a tie was a great result, because if you look at just the first half, I'm like, oh, we could really win this, and then they score right before half, and then after that, it was just chance after chance after chance after chance. So it got to the point where I'm like, please, just a point. I'll take a point away at Portland. That's great. But if you look at where we're at in the season and how many games we blew and how we're still under the playoff line, and we have a very tough August schedule ahead of us, we really needed a win. and then if we would have also beat LAFC, who lost to Sporting, we would have been around 5th place. So we have to get a win this Sunday, not to get too far ahead already, but yeah.
Well, to be completely honest with you, I don't know what happens in MLS. I think it's the 7 teams that go into the playoffs, but we're only 3 points away from that 7th spot. So at the end of the day, these players are going to be motivated because they're like, dude, we're 1 win away from being in playoffs. Like, it's, I don't know, MLS, it seems like you're always in it, right? You're always in the thick of things.
Yeah, we're always on the fridge.
Right, because
until that last game.
because everybody gets in the playoffs almost. If you don't make the playoffs, man, that was a really bad season.
Yeah, the fact that we're on 17 games played and have 18 points and we're still in contention for playoffs speaks for itself.
It's not even contention, right? We're 3 points away. Geez.
Oh, the fans of our show, this is obviously one of our segments we like to do. It's a little bit of a sad moment, also a bit of a happy moment. This is the last time, the final time Jacob will ever get to clown Youngworth's rating and performance for the Earthquakes. So, one last time, Jacob, go ahead and read about Youngworth and tell me what you thought about the game.
So we gave him an 11 out of 10.
My other thing is, like, in a game with Portland where it's so pacey, and like you really need high work rate, and then you see Rios and Fierro warming up on the bench. It's just like, what are we doing?
And Wanda.
Yeah. Jacob and I were texting throughout the game, but there is one point in the game where I immediately FaceTime because there's been great trios in like our lifetime, like MSN, like the Messi, Neymar, Suarez, Benzema, Ronaldo, Bale, like Salah, Mane, Firmino. These front three that just create this electric runs, good off the ball movement, great dribbling at the defenders, and sometimes, like especially in sports, you just like there's this electricity you feel like you just feel a goal's coming, or you feel like pressure's coming, like you kind of know like that atmosphere, like oh, we're gonna concede soon, they're knocking on the door, oh, we're about to score, we're right there, like you know that feeling you just get in your gut, like you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, exactly.
So everything I just described, if you were, I don't know what the word is, but if you could just take the complete opposite of that, in like the 81st minute, we had quite possibly the worst attack I have seen. I'm gonna look directly at the worst attack I have seen in my entire life. It was Wando, Fierro, and Rios versus on like a 3v4 or a 3v3.
Yeah.
Wando had the ball.
Thinks he's Messi.
He's dribbling at the defense at like -2 pace, and then you have Rios, who's making a run behind a defender the entire time, so Wando has no one to pass to, but he's also running into Wando, so he's closing off the space. And then you have Fierro at the far post, who is standing in an offside position the entire attacking possession. And then Wando just gives the ball away, and then we're outnumbered because those three didn't get back. It was unbelievable.